Hi guys! I know it's been a while, so from my last video you could probably tell that I like building things. So this video is showing something else that I made. Actually, it was last year, so 2019 in July, so almost a year ago, I made this storage bench. So here's the video. I start by cutting the pieces for the frame, and I'm labeling them because some of them are 17 inches and some of them are 18 inches. So now I'm using wood glue to glue them together, make sure that they're coming out to be the same height because my cutting wasn't 100% perfect. So I had to place them strategically along the wall, making sure that they are coming out to the same height because also some tiles were like higher than others. Anyway, so I'm just pre-drilling the holes. And then I'm putting in the screws because I don't want to split the wood. This dehydrator was the reason I decided to make this bench because it wouldn't fit anywhere. Anyway, so I'm just scraping off the grout so that the frame can go all the way up to the wall, and then I just fill it in. Then I start putting the frame together. I'm using these triangle pieces I cut from other scrap pieces to attach the squares to the 2x4s. Since this was my first time building anything like this, I didn't realize it would wobble so much, so I had to add another triangle block piece to the inside. After doing that first one, I started gluing the pieces before drilling the holes since it was a lot easier that way. The way I wanted to place the squares along the wall ended up not lining up with any studs. So of course I had to put in anchors. I remember that when I was showing my dad the frame and explaining to him why I did it the way I did it, I remember also telling him that if I were to do this again, I would build it differently, which really is a shame that it's been almost a year, and since I didn't make this video then, now I don't remember how I would do it differently. Oh well. Here I'm just showing my dad I left a hole at the bottom because I cut it too short, but it wasn't gonna matter anyway because I was putting in baseboards. So now I'm getting the seats ready. I'm cutting them the right size, and then I'm just gonna get them ready to stain. Cutting this piece of board is not even like wood. Oh, it's such a pain because it's so flimsy, and I kept like cutting it wrong. I think that's why I cut the other one wrong in the video, the other clip. Anyway, I'm just thinning it a bunch of times and prepping it with crap. I don't remember what I used, but something that preps pine wood because pine is such a pain in the butt to stain because it's a soft wood, and so I'm just like putting something over it so it takes the stain a lot better. The staining was what took the longest. It was like the longest process out of everything, like cutting and whatever, everything else, measuring, because I had to get the right stain that I wanted. I bought like 6 different cans of stain, like different colors, and so while I was, trying them all, seeing in which order I should put them to get the color that I wanted, and I had to wait several days, several hours for each layer to dry, which took a long time. Anyway, the seats are ready, so I cut a strip off of the seats to attach the hinges to. So the strip that you see on top, that little piece, is I'm nailing that to the frame and then adding the hinges to that and the rest, and attaching the rest of the seat. Anyway, I think that was kind of easy to understand, maybe. I had to make sure I measured and remeasured the hinges because I was kind of scared that they were gonna like come out crooked. Anyway, but as you can see, the seat opens perfectly. And then moving on to the baseboards, I'd say that I never want to cut baseboards again. they're such a pain, and I had to fill in a gap in that corner, and I had to go buy more baseboard because I cut it wrong. Anyway, it was not, I didn't like that. That's my least favorite part. So here is the finished product, and I am very pleased with the color, how it turned out. For the seat, it was exactly what I wanted. And of course, like, this is the corner that I was talking about in the video. It was my measuring, because they had to be cut at an angle, and I had the same problem here, which, I mean, from far you can't really tell, but yeah, I filled that in. And then this gap here, I am totally okay with leaving it like that because there's gonna be a table here and you can't see that anyway. So the cushions is another thing that took me, I think, longer than the staining, because I bought around $450 worth of just pillows and I couldn't really decide which ones I wanted, so I bought some from Kohl's, I bought some from Pier 1 Imports, and then I ended up like exchanging them, returning them. Anyway, so the ones that I have here are all from Pier 1. So to recap, the pillows were around $150, and the materials for the bench were also $150. So in altogether, I spent around $300, around, because I'm just rounding it, to build the bench from scratch. And, you know, something that I wanted. Were mistakes made? Yes. But did I make it work? Yes, it worked out in the end. So I'm just gonna move on to the next thing, and the next thing is gonna be building a table for my kitchen, because I spent almost a year with no table in my kitchen.